details of it, but there was some criticism of Palace and so on. And that somehow led to this, what they call the M23 derby, because it's, Brighton are down the end of that, down the coast. The M23 doesn't even go to the coast, but that's what it's referred to. There's probably about, I don't know, 40, 45 miles between the two teams. I've said before, I'm nearer to Brighton. I live nearer to Brighton than I do Palace. But no, it was a very good game, and I think for the Palace, I mean, both sets of fans, they want the bragging rights. And this season, Palace had done the double over Brighton. At their place, we won. I think it was 3-1, and yesterday, or Saturday, we won as well. And it's the first time we've done that in about a good number of years. It's a long time, because Brighton are a good side. I don't think they were perhaps up to their usual form on Saturday, and they haven't been at it because they lost in the week 3-0, I think, didn't they? Recently, maybe that was the cup game, I don't remember, but they're not doing so well. But they're a very good footballing side. They're good possession football. Players, like Danny Welbeck, he scored one of their goals, or their goal on Saturday. But yeah, it was an excellent end-to-end sort of game. Whereas I don't think the Manchester derby was. But then it's a game of opinions, isn't it? Others would have watched it and said, "Oh, what a great game." What did you think? Did you think it was a great game to watch?
Yeah, that was what I was going to come to next after the Manchester one. But yeah, when I watched it, I don't know what happened actually, because there's 3 red cards. Did you see
Brighton,
that?
Palace, yeah.
3 red cards. So 2 for Palace, and then 1 for Brighton. And at one point, Palace was down to 9 players.
Yeah, and they still had 11 at that stage.
And they still had 11. They still had 11 at that stage. Yeah. So I watched the match, and I know Palace is being spectacular this late half of the season. They didn't start the season very well. They didn't start the season very well up to December, but this year they seem to have, found the magic and turn things around. Thanks to Oliver Glasner's, But the match, the game was disturbing actually. Not for the fact that Brighton lost, but it was that Palace had a lot of infringements. I mean, Matt Gay, what was wrong with him emotionally?
Yeah, because it was strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's normally a cool-headed player. And for him to raise his foot that high,
like that,
on a yellow card, and somebody's just been sent off, so you're down to 10 men, and you raise your foot like that. I don't know what went through his mind. I have a great lot of respect for Matt Gay, but I just don't understand what happened. Up to that point, I really enjoyed the game, but then I was disturbed for him. I thought, the club psychology ought to get to the bottom of, what must have caused that, because that was no ordinary action that he took. He definitely took that out of frustration. But other than that, go on.
No, after you. Go on.
Yeah, but other than that, it was a great match to watch. And
it was.
And I'd like to let you know that I was actually rooting and supporting Palace.
Well done.
Because of you. Because of you, bro.
Well done, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
going back to Mark Gay, let me say. Well done, guys. I appreciate that. Going back to Mark Gay, let me say at the outset, he is, what would I say? He's a magnificent footballer. He's the complete article, as they sometimes say. And it's tragic from a Palace fan's point of view that we're likely to lose him. And I don't think the fans, I don't think we will blame him, because like a lot of very good players, he wants to play in the Champions League, and he'll get it obviously with the club if he goes to Liverpool or one of the other top ones. He will get that. I would love to think that Palace will somehow keep him by giving him a bigger contract and things like that, because he's developed into a great captain. When he became captain, probably the beginning of this season, because Joel Ward, who did come on for the first time in a long time near the end of the game, but he was a good captain for many years, really. But Mark initially was quite quiet, but he's developed into a great role model type captain, and he's kind with the players, but he will let someone know if they let the team down. But he really was the architect of the first goal, because it was funny you say it, but something seemed to get into him, because it did with that foul. But it also got into him quite early in the game for Palace's first goal. He's a central defender, but he had the ball, and he does occasionally do a foray forward. But he started running, because he's not known to be a striker or a dribbler of a ball, but he beat 2 or 3 players. You could see as he went up the wing, he was determined. There was a determination. And then he slipped it into Eze, who again is a brilliant footballer. He sort of jinked past one player, passed it beautifully in the path of our brilliant JP Mateta, the most personality footballer of the decade. Yeah. He's a wonderful footballer, and he smacked in a left foot shot, which gave the goalkeeper no chance. And of course, the whole stadium erupted. But of course, JP, as we call him, he was the guy who's got a very badly injured ear from that foul by the Millwall goalkeeper in the cup game a few weeks ago. Yeah. And I mean, I gather there was not much of his ear left, but he still wears a cover, a mask covering it. But a brilliant goal. But he is the most incredible personality. He must be the glue that holds that team together. The way when he scores a goal, he comes and kicks over the corner flag, and the fans love him. There's a special song we all sing when he scores a goal. But he's a Frenchman, and at the end of a game, if he's sometimes interviewed on the pitch, they'll ask him, how do you feel after that? And he'll go, fantastic. And then every time after the game, they whether he's home or away, they got people with cameras inside